welcome back to another episode of YourRaw. I think it's episode 7. And today I've got some images by Peter Scott. Now, Peter Scott has sent, I've already done some of his images in an earlier episode, and he contacted me again on Facebook saying, do you fancy having a go at these? When I say these, we've got 6 images that we're going to put into a panorama. And I don't know whether you've noticed, but I'm in a different room now. It's my new office room, which I'm really excited about. And it's still in the process of being done, but I've managed to get some images up on the wall here, which is great. Just need some fancy lighting and things like that, and a blind for the window. Okay, so that's enough about the office. I might do a vlog on the office one day, but we'll see about that. So we've got these images, and we're going to set them into a pano. So if I just go over, I've already done the pano, and the reason why I've done it is because my computer crashed after I'd done the pano. So I've had to restart the computer. So I'll just go over how we do a pano anyway. So if we select the first image and then select the last image, and when we press select, if we hold down shift as we select, it will select all 6 images. The other way we can do it is select them individually. So if we select the first image, hold down control on it, this is on a PC, and then we can select them all individually, which will select them all as well. Then we right click, and then we go to photo merge, and we pick panorama. So I've processed the pano, and this is the pano at the moment, and I've just cropped it in just slightly. I think if I click, that's before crop. And then I've just cropped it in to there, and then I'm going to send it into Lightroom, and I'm just going to try and fill this top in to just give me all this detail. I might not use it, but I'm going to do that first, and it's another process that we can learn as well. So if we right click and send it into Photoshop, we've got it up in Photoshop. Now, one thing we can do, because the file's so big, obviously we don't want to lose any of that detail in that file, but we can actually make the file, if you're struggling with your PC, we can actually make the image smaller. So image size, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it down to about, let's go down to, if I drop that down to 12, click OK, that should reduce the image size. Therefore, the processor should help with the image. So we've reduced it by a fair bit, to be honest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a copy, a layer, and then I'm going to work on the top layer, and I'm going to click on the lasso tool. I'm just going to go over this top bit. And then if we right click over where the marching ants are, we're content aware fill, and with a bit of luck, it will fill it for me, and it's done a super job. So we'll click OK, and we've got us full image now. So that's another thing you can do, processing in Photoshop if we want to fill them edges in. Say if we haven't quite got the tripod right, sometimes it won't work, sometimes it will. So we'll deselect, and now we've got this image to work on. I'm not going to do, I'm going to do a little bit in Photoshop, removing 1 or 2 little things, I think. So let's zoom in a little bit. If we go in to this area here, and we'll get rid of that pole, and I might get rid of these little things here, these distractions. So if let's see how this does this erase tool, is it? Spot heal tool, sorry. So we'll just make it slightly bigger, and we'll just draw over the pole, and we'll just see how good it is. That's pretty good. So we'll do the same with this sign. We'll get rid of that, and we'll get rid of this bin. Okay, so that's them gone, and I'm happy with those. It's a shame the lady in it is standing in it and moving. But I think we'll get rid of that red dot there. We'll keep all the other people in there at the moment. So we'll get rid of that little tripod. I can just see a little tripod there. We'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of that little sign. So we're just cleaning things up that we want to get rid of. It's a shame about these tracks, but obviously that's just one of them things that happens. Perfect time, we'd want this all to be nice and clear. But I think if we go back to the full screen now, that is pretty good. That's a lot cleaner. Like I say, it's a shame the lady isn't still. Now then, I think as an image with the lady that's still in it. Let's have a look. Let's go back into Lightroom. Have a look at these images. If we just zoom in there, that's the lady. I'm sure there's one, maybe, with a lady standing still. Maybe not. There is. Okay, so we could potentially use that lady and put her back in. So we'll do that. Okay. So because I've missed the process, I'm going to send this image into Photoshop. So same thing, right click and send it into Photoshop. It's a separate layer now. So when it comes, it'll be a separate layer. And all I'm after is this lady here. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to select around the lady, like so, and I'm going to go up into the edit, and I'm going to copy, then I'm going to go into the pano image, click on a layer, create another layer, and we'll paste, and that's put that lady in this image. Obviously in the wrong place because she's in the Northern Lights at the moment. So we've just got to get that lady there. So first we'll zoom in a little bit so we can see what we're doing. We'll get the move tool and we'll put her over there somewhere, and then we shall, I'll tell you what the first thing we'll do, we'll get rid of the blurred lady. So we'll click on the layer below. We shall go into the lasso tool again. We'll just lasso around it like so. Right click, content aware, lady's gone. I'm happy with that because we're going to put this, superimpose the unblurred lady over the top. So we'll select and deselect, then we'll go to the top layer with the lady on, and then we'll move her in position. So we'll zoom in a bit more. We'll just get a little bit closer to her. Okay, and then all we're going to do is match everything up. So we shall select, we'll go to, where are we? Free transform. If I hold down the shift button and then click the corner, it will keep her in exactly the right format. So what we're going to try and do is line her up. So I'm going to use that post behind to line up. That's the first thing. So she must have been that post. Is that post there with that? Okay, so a little bit lower down. What I'm trying to do is line up the step and the post, which means the lady's then in the right place where she's standing. Just slightly smaller, I think. So that looks pretty good. Obviously the snow doesn't match, but we'll sort that out in a second. So we'll click enter, and that's put the lady in position-ish. So what we'll do now is we'll just we'll create a layer mask on that layer, make sure it's on black and white, pick the brush tool, make it small-ish brush, and we're just going to paint around that edge Why is it not painting? Because we've on 9% opacity, 100% opacity. So, and we'll just paint around and blend everything in that's round the lady and make it all tie in nicely together. Now then, now we've got a non-blurred lady in the image, and I'm quite happy at that. I mean, the image of the lady is really small, you know, so we are talking real fine detail. So, you know, we could go around this forever and a day and get it perfect, but I'm really happy with that. That looks pretty damn good. So we'll just come back out to full screen, and there's the non-blurred lady in the image. I do like the people, especially the two people sitting in the snow. That really does make it for me. I think that's superb, that is. So that's that image cleaned up in that respect. What we'll do now is we'll send it back into Lightroom. So easiest way to do that, file, save. As soon as you click save, off it goes back into Lightroom. But oh, what an amazing photo. What an amazing photos. These are superb. So what we've done with this, we've learned how to do a pano. We've learned how to remove things. If you want to remove everything that's really detailed, Photoshop. If you want to remove little dust spots, things like that, just the odd little bit, then you could do that in Lightroom. But if not, you need Photoshop. And then we've removed a blurred lady, and we've put a nice sharp lady in there, which is fantastic. That could actually change the image, because obviously I'm assuming that's probably his wife, and she's nice and sharp in that image now. It looks phenomenal. It's just come in now and it looks phenomenal. And the only real thing that's sort of doing it for me really is what I really want to concentrate on adjusting is the lights in the actual house. And if we drop down the highlights, it will do most of it, but I don't want to drop down everything. So I'm going to bring the highlights down a little bit there. The shadow, I don't want to bring the shadows up. I think they're quite nice. If anything, I'm going to drop them down. The whites, if we bring the whites up, obviously we're starting to lighten all them lights that are coming through the cabin. The darks, too dark. So I actually like the exposure pretty much as it is. The only thing I'm going to try and do again is work on these lights here. So what we'll do it locally. So if we select a mask and we select a brush, what I'm going to do is actually drop down the highlights right down, and then I'm just going to paint over this area here. Now that looks a little bit too fake to me. Well, it is too fake, it's simple as that. Okay, we're back. So where was we? So we were just going down the sliders and we were just checking one or two things. I honestly don't think we need to do a lot more besides just get rid of this noise, which isn't too bad, to be honest. The noise is pretty good. I've just upped the luminosity to 12, and I'll tell you what, I'm quite happy with that. I think that noise is pretty damn good. Oh, what an image. What an absolutely fantastic image. Really is super. The detail in the snow, the little sparkles in the snow, and then you've got, oh, all this. It must have been slightly snowing at the time as well, because you can see bits of snow in the sky. Yeah, just lovely. What I might do is, let's just try, I just want to try something, see if I can bring out a bit more detail in the sky, but without overdoing it. So if we just pick a mask, brush tool, and I'm just going to up up the clarity slightly on the brush tool, and then we'll select a big brush, and I'm just going to paint over a little bit of the sky. And that'll probably be enough for me. We'll just drop that back off. We'll just have a look, I haven't overdone it. That's pretty nice, that is. I think for me that's the image done. It would be nice to get rid of these tracks, and I think if you spent a lot of time you could potentially do that, but it would take an awful lot of editing. But I do like the people in it. I love the people how they're looking at the northern light, especially where it's spiking on this left hand side. It looks superb. I'm glad we've got rid of these little distractions that was on the right. It's a shame that there's not one exposure where the lights in the huts are a little bit less bright, so they're not so blown out. But we've dragged it back a fair bit, as much as I dare. I mean, we can try a little bit more. I just don't want it to be too grey. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to try. I might just grab a little bit more. So we'll just get the brush tool. We'll just drop them highlights down a little bit. Make the brush nice and small, and I'm just going to paint over them windows again, and that window there. And I'm just going to go where I think I think that's as far as I can go with that. What we could, yeah, you know, I think I'm quite happy with that, and it's a lovely shot. We'll just zoom out a little bit so we can actually see it a little bit better. But what a beautiful, beautiful shot. We'll just soft proof that. So that's actual image there. Looks absolutely stunning. What an image. Yes, we could still crop some of that off if we wanted, but I think with everybody looking up into the sky, you know, we want that big vast sky and all that fantastic detail. So it looks super. It looks really, really super. So we'll save that. Yeah, so the process was we'd done a fair bit of work in Photoshop really to just tidy the image up after creating that pano, and as you've seen, it was quite easy. And luckily we've got that one sharp lady. We'll just zoom in on the lady. We'll just get that. Where's the lady? So the lady's nice and sharp now, which is fantastic. You know, the detail is absolutely superb, that alone. So I'm really pleased that we've made the effort with the lady. Just looks so much better, so much cleaner. I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Like I say, if you want your image to feature in one of these episodes, come join the Facebook group, Thumbs Up Photography. It's a fantastic group, full of positivity, no negativity whatsoever. It won't be allowed, and it's never happened yet, so it's superb. Hence, thumbs up. We do have the odd meet. We've actually due another meet very shortly, which we'll have it before you'll see this video actually. But yeah, we arranged the odd meet and we have a little bit of fun there, so that's good. And we're going all around the country, different locations, so different people, it'll suit them. The next one's in North Wales. We've done one at Home Fen. Looking good, loving it. And then we'll probably do one in the Lake District and so on and so on. So come over and join us. Come to the meets, come and say hello, and let me have a go at one of your images. But big thanks again to Peter for sending me these images. They are stunning. You are one lucky man to see that sight. Okay, thanks for watching. Again, give us a thumbs up as well. Really do appreciate it. It does help the channel. If you've liked this series, subscribe. And thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.